Welcome back to AI Weekly News by Cyber Intel Systems. I'm glad you're with us. I'm your host, Leo Smith. Today's story is about PLA Strike Planner sets target priorities and allocates missions. Strike planning requires teams to connect intelligence about targets with aircraft availability, weapons, timing routes, defenses, weather, and rules of engagement. A large operation also has dependencies between missions. One aircraft may suppress an air defense site before another formation can approach a separate target. Conventional planning tools already help officers manage those constraints, but AI can search a larger set of possible sequences and allocations. The disclosed Chinese system reportedly creates recommendations for target priority and the order of attack waves. That human role is significant, but the public material does not define the exact process for approving recommendations. It does not say which model family is used, how frequently data are refreshed, how recommendations are scored, or how operators challenge a result. It also provides no independent benchmark against experienced planning teams. The reported functions resemble a constrained optimization problem. The system must match available formations and weapons to targets while accounting for timing and operational dependencies. A useful planner would also need to update its proposal when an aircraft becomes unavailable, intelligence changes, or an earlier mission does not produce the expected result. Reliability depends on more than the planning algorithm. Sensor reports can be delayed, incomplete, deceptive, or mutually inconsistent. If a model assigns high confidence to bad input, it can produce a precise plan built on a false picture of the battlefield. Communications networks create another constraint. A central planner may have broad information, but depend on links that can be jammed or disrupted, while an edge system has less context and limited computing power. The public reporting does not establish how the system operates under degraded communication, cyber attack, data poisoning, or deliberate deception. The disclosure adds pressure on defense suppliers to integrate AI with command and control software simulation, secure data links, and mission planning systems. Buyers are likely to ask for systems that can explain recommendations, preserve an audit trail, and continue operating when some inputs disappear. A model that works only in a clean demonstration has little operational value. Let's pause here for a short break. We'll be right back after this bumper. Welcome back. If you find this useful, follow and subscribe to AI Weekly News. Now, let's continue the news. It may also shift spending toward testing infrastructure. Militaries need realistic simulations, red team exercises, and replayable scenarios that reveal whether a planner remains stable when assumptions change. Procurement should measure decision quality and mission outcomes, not just how quickly a system generates a plan. Commercial AI vendors should treat this as a governance boundary as well as a market opportunity. Military planning involves export controls, classified data, safety obligations, and national policy. General-purpose optimization technology can become operationally consequential when connected to targeting and weapons allocation. Human command does not automatically make an AI-assisted process safe. Operators need enough time, information, and authority to reject a recommendation. If a system produces plans faster than people can examine them, automation bias can turn review into automatic approval. A credible evaluation would compare the system with human planners across many scenarios, including adversarial and degraded conditions. It would measure not only planning time, but also mistakes in target selection, resource conflicts, civilian risk, controls, resilience, and the quality of uncertainty. None of those measurements was disclosed in the reporting available this week. The scale claims also require caution. Officials reported use across more than 100 units. That could mean limited exercises, or it could mean routine operational. The reporting does not define the deployment conditions without test records or independent observation. This is not proof of combat, effectiveness, or autonomous strike authority. China's disclosure shows how military AI is moving into the difficult middle between intelligence analysis. A planning system can search options and coordinate resources, but its output remains only as sound as its data, objectives, safeguards, and human review. Watch for evidence about exercises, error rates, and performance when networks are degraded. Also ask what operators are allowed to approve or reject. The central question is not whether AI can produce a strike plan. It is whether commanders can understand, test, and responsibly reject that plan before speed becomes a substitute for judgment. Thank you for listening to AI Weekly News by Cyber Intel Systems. Subscribe and join us next week for the latest AI stories.